We back with another episode here of the Still Broke Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Moore, Encyclopedia Black. We in the building. We got a special guest for us today on the show. But before we get started, we got to get all the logistics out the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see, if you like what you hear. Help us out, Still Broke Podcast. We still broke up in this piece, so let us know. Help us out with that like button there. But we got a special guest today, former Florida State Seminole, former national champion, current Chicago Bear D Lineman, DeMarcus Walker is in the house. What's up, my dude?
What up, brother?
Man, glad to have you. Now you told me, man, this is kind of, you don't do too much of this podcast stuff, man. This is kind of your first time jumping on.
Oh man, my first podcast I ever did, man.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on with us, man. And we want to get it kicked off with you, man. Let's get it started, brother. Some breaking news in your league today, bro. You see that Jason Kelce decided to retire, and that the Denver Broncos released Russell Wilson.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. I mean, crazy news today. I mean, these next few weeks in the NFL is about to be crazy. So
it's almost like your league doesn't have an offseason at this point in time. I mean, it's the best soap opera after the season because you got the draft and you got free agency, and now you got these big names going. As far as you being a D lineman, I know you play mostly on the outside, but did you get a chance to go against Jason Kelce at any point in your career?
Yeah, my last year, 2 years ago when I was with the Titans, got a chance to go at them. The Eagles as a unit, in my opinion, top 3 offensive line in the league. So, I mean, that guy, was definitely, an anchor. I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer, like non-negotiable, 6 Pro Bowls, the 1 Super Bowl champion. So, I mean, hats off to him.
For sure. And with Russ, you guys actually played the Broncos this year. How shocked are you that the Broncos decided to let Russ go at this point in time?
I mean, I'm not really I'm shocked, but I'm not damn, I can't believe they did that. It was just I mean, it's the business. And I mean, honestly, I just feel like the chemistry between Sean Payton and Russell was, to where it got to a point where, I mean, it's on the sideline and it's in front of everybody. I feel like, that's not healthy on both ends. Like both of y'all are a husband and a father and everything. So, I mean, that can never work in my opinion.
Have you ever had a coach come at you like that on the sideline?
Nah, not at all. I mean, you're gonna have your coaches go at you, but I mean, honestly, I'm the type of person that really try not to put myself in that situation, But I mean, it's all about respect at the end of the day.
Yeah, so you felt like Russ was disrespected by the way Sean kind of went after him. That was the Detroit game, what we're talking about, right?
I think so. I don't know what game for sure it was, but no, I feel like that was disrespectful. I mean, yeah, I feel like that was just disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, man, obviously, also what's going on right now is a combine season, man, and your Florida State Seminoles are showing out the combine. Now, we all know what happened during the college football year.
Oh, man.
Seeing what your guys are doing over there in the combine, does that infuriate you even more as a Nole, knowing that you didn't get a chance to go to the college football playoff, or how do you feel about that?
I mean, dude, everyone know it was highway robbery, and to, know the talent that we had, and, I'm so proud of those guys going out there to go broadcast, their skills and, represent Florida State like that. I mean, it's definitely, it's definitely bittersweet to see. So, I mean, you can't redo the past, but, those guys, earned it, and it was robbed, and, now it's time for them to get paid. So, yeah, I mean, the college football playoff committee, I feel shame on them. But, I mean, it was 2 great college football games. Alabama and Michigan put up a good game, and so did, Washington and Texas.
Now, I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Based on what you know and based on Jordan Travis being out, do you think the Noles could have beat any one of those teams with the backup quarterback in the
Unquestionable.
game.
Unquestionable. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Michigan really surprised me. You know what I'm saying? Very hard. I'm very hard on the Big Ten. Um,
Right.
but with our backup quarterback, I feel like our defense was definitely good enough and stout enough to get it done. You know, but obviously there's non-negotiable. Jordan Travis was healthy. I mean, we'll sweep it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Where do you see him going in the draft? You see him as a second, third day guy, or how do you kind of project his future moving forward to the NFL?
Yeah, man. I feel like he made himself some money, dude. I mean, just the way how he developed over the course of his career, and how how he just never really, how he never folded. Last year. And
Right.
our scout department was very big on him before the season, and for him to you know to live up to the expectation, I could see him going day 2, day 3 guy. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure. Do me a quick favor, my man. Just move your screen over just a little bit. We just seeing kind of half of you
Oh,
on
so
this one right here. So no, you good. You good. So when you went to Florida State, um, you committed to Bama originally.
oh yeah, man.
Yeah. So what happened? Tell us that story. You committed to Bama, went to Florida State. So how did this go down?
Honestly, I mean, Alabama does a hell of a job of recruiting. Before NIL, like they had the best of the best. They won so much that to where, I mean, you couldn't really compete with them. But there was a coach named Jeremy Pruitt that recruited my area. Honestly, that's the main reason why I was going there, because he was just such a great recruiter. Him and I really developed a relationship. I mean, and to where he definitely saw the potential in me, and I mean, the man was no brainer to commit to Alabama, and he wanted to get in the defensive coordinator job at Florida State, and man, he wound up calling me up, and telling me, hey, I wound up getting a job, and I would love for you to come over, and you know. He told me this. He told me this news while I'm celebrating, my going away to college party, and it was Alabama themed. Like, come on,
Oh wow.
like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy just to, looking back at it, just it was a world spin. But I don't regret that decision at all. You know, could I have, stuck it out through Alabama? Absolutely. But I was very thankful to go to Florida State and you know, be a legend there.
Definitely. So the coach actually was a reason why you flipped from Bama to Florida State. Then he was the one who pulled you over.
Nah, man, Jeremy Pruitt flipped 3 guys that year when he got the job at Florida State. It was me, 4 guys. It was me. He flipped me from Alabama. Nate Andrews was supposed to go to Minnesota. He wanted to be a freshman All American that year on the national championship team. Flipped him from Minnesota, 3-star guy or 2-star, and wound up,
Okay.
believing in him. He wound up, flipping to Florida State. Jalen Ramsey was going to, I think, Jalen really liked the Florida. I recall that kind of conversation. I could be wrong, but and Jalen liked the USC too, because I think he was committed to USC. But he wound up coming to Florida State, and Matthew Thomas was definitely committed to USC, and wound up flipping us over. And I mean, he wound up, he was just a hell of a recruiter, dude. I promise, hell of a recruiter. Knew how to talk to you, just knew how to like kind of put himself within your situation, and and just go from there. So, yeah, that was crazy.
Man, so he flipped you and Jalen Ramsey, man. We got to get that man a raise because he did a hell of a job doing that because we all know what both you guys are and where you got drafted, both you in the NFL and being very successful. So, man, get that man a raise at this point. And let me ask you this. So now you mentioned the NIL. Had the NIL been around at that point in time, would the coach still been able? Let's say that Alabama was going to give you more money than Florida State. Okay, so let's just say they'll give you 100K more than Florida State. Would that have been enough to flip you or to keep you at Bama, or would you have still gone with your coach?
Man, seriously, man. to like sit right here on a podcast and think about these guys are really getting paid, in college. It's just like, you freaking kidding me, bro? Like, but I mean, hats off to them, man. I hope they really enjoy it. I really they create a system that to where they're also learning a certain type of financial literacy, while attaining this type of money. Would I have been flipped? That's a good question, Marcus. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
They say there's a price on everything, man. What's the price? What's the price for the flip?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, either way, man, I would have won a national championship. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Right.
probably in that moment, I probably would have stayed then. Yeah, probably in that moment, knowing me then, I probably would have stayed. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, you
So
feel
so
like, bro. I really had to
no,
think.
it's all good. It's all good. I mean, you just got to be real. I mean, it's just like, and that's what these kids are kind of finding themselves into. It's like, you may have love for a certain school, you may have love for a certain coach, but if the money is talking and if the money's right, and you're going between Alabama and a Florida State or Georgia, and these schools that have an opportunity to still win games, then it comes down. Sometimes it does come down to the money,
Yeah,
So
and for the bigger schools to compete in that, I mean, that's fine and dandy. But to the smaller tier schools that can't really compete with that, that's when you kind of scratch your head, like, all right, well, what are we going to eventually do with these smaller tier schools? Because don't get me wrong, like, you still, like, you can't, like, there's a lot of NFL players that went to small schools. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So, like, but then at the same time, the transfer portal, they're leaving those small schools and going to the bigger schools, and it sure can't
right.
deal. So, I mean, I'm eager to see how this goes.
Yeah, we'll see if there's some. There was just a ruling, I believe in Tennessee, saying that the schools can no longer basically put any guardrails around the NIL, which is going to open this up even more. So now you can actually just offer them the money off the bat. You really don't have to kind of hide it, as far as the early meetings. So this is about to get crazy, man, as far as NIL is concerned. But as you mentioned, you went to Florida State, and year one you walk into Florida State, and you walk out of there with a national championship in the Rose Bowl with Jameis Winston. So at this point in time, you got to think that you made the right decision in year one. How many did you think you guys were going to pull off at that point in time as you were a freshman? And the first time you get on the field and you play a full season in college, you bring home a national championship.
I mean, at least two. You know what I'm saying? Because that next following year we went undefeated again. We went to the first ever college football playoffs. Got our ass whipped by Oregon though, but I just think to where Jamie Pruitt had a lot to do with that culture. Like, I don't care what nobody say, because obviously you got to think like he was underneath Saban. Where Saban came from, Belichick, where Belichick came from, Bill Parcells. I promise. That we used to watch cut ups from like that old like Nick Saban, like when he was with like the NFL. Yeah, I remember Jason Taylor like being on a certain type of blitz, watching his clips. So that not only that philosophy, but that coaching demeanor came with it as well. And honestly,
Right,
that really like put more discipline within the players at Florida State, because we always had talent. There's always going to be talent at Florida State, just because
right.
of the area and just because that's Florida State. But then, I mean, to put the discipline with it, which Norvell, and I feel like those guys did this year, and that's what I believe they deserved a shot. Um, you know, man, I feel like we were able to get two of them off. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that second year we were not as disciplined. We was talented, but we wasn't as disciplined. And honestly, I believe just because Pruitt wasn't there. I believe if Pruitt was there, we would have won back-to-back national championships. I don't care what nobody say.
So that second year, that was the year that Jameis got the suspension for the crab legs, correct?
Yeah, man.
Is that was
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about this now. It's crazy to think about this now. So your starting quarterback got suspended for getting crab legs, and there's guys driving Lamborghini Performantes on campus right now and making tens of millions of dollars, yet your quarterback was suspended for getting free food.
It's wrong, man. It's wrong. I mean, like this since a long time. I mean, think about like SMU when they got the death penalty for the
Right.
stuff they were doing. I mean, it's been known that to where, hey, this is really a business that, I mean, it's kind of like not fair. Oh, you're getting free education. That's cool and all that, but I mean, that's what, honestly, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Man, shout out to man, man.
It,
Shout out to Amos. He ain't do nothing wrong. Man, we was hungry in college, man. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? Like, yes,
listen, man.
every college kid was hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hungry, bro.
You and I have been through those times where we couldn't get that type of thing, so we know how it is. So you guys went to the Rose Bowl twice. Actually, you played in the Rose Bowl for the national championship game, and then you played obviously in the playoff game against Oregon, which you lost. Were you familiar with the Rose Bowl at that point in time, or just kind of the aura of the place? I mean, how big of a deal was that going there your first year as a freshman and just being in that facility in that stadium for the national championship?
Man, it was crazy. I mean, cause go to back years, back to Pasadena, and honestly, that's another thing too. Those fuckers, like, we did not me. I was very, and that's how I was hurt after the game. But we did a lot of the same things that we already did. So some guys was like, man, we've never seen this before. But the first time, man, everybody taking pictures. I mean, Jimbo made sure we was in Orange County. He put us far away from everybody, but we was just like, we worked, but we also like had fun too, no cap. You know what I'm saying? Like we had some crazy fun, and like we all just took it in like, bro, we in the national championship, bro. We undefeated,
Right.
bro. Like we whole brotherhood. Like we went to the team. We went to a whole comedy show, just the players. Man, it was part of the whole itinerary. Auburn went first, and we went. And to where at the end of the show, the comedy people was like, "Dog, I got my money on y'all. Like y'all clicked up way tighter than the other one. Everybody else was stiff as hell." And then, I mean, it just showed, and we went there and whooped their ass. But that next year, I mean, it was cool, but everybody was kind of like, we didn't been here before. Like we kind of just like, oh, like we used to win, and we won 27 games in a row. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, I never lost in college. So like, I just feel like, you know, that second year, guys didn't just take it as serious.
All right. So you went to a lot of big bowl games? Do you think that one was the best atmosphere, the Rose Bowl, compared to? I believe you played in the Orange Bowl as well, correct?
And Chick-fil-A.
Right.
So that's
So
I mean, I have fun in all of them. I feel like the best atmosphere. What you mean, like the game or just that week? Everything, like you gotta be more.
you know, man. I mean, I would say this. You know, like when you walk into the stadium, you know, it's a certain feel about certain places. You know, when you walk in, and it's a certain feel like during the game that you have when the game is starting to go a certain way. But just that feel when you walk into the stadium of okay, this place feels different than the rest
No,
of them.
man, national
You know,
championship game. No lie, national championship game. I mean, that was different. I mean, you see John Legend doing the national anthem. I mean, the national anthem, and like it's just wow. We here, yeah. National championship's crazy. Like I never forget that one. Like I never forget that one. Never.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
got it so early. You know, when you're young, you get it that early. You think they
Yeah,
all
I mean,
coming.
right, yeah, freshman year, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to finish the way I started, but you know, I wasn't fortunate enough. I feel like I know why. I figured out the ways you know, in life why. What can I do better? You know, but yeah, man, I'm gonna give me a Super Bowl.
Hopefully with my Chicago Bears, man. Hopefully with them. Now, your boy Jameis, man. Your boy Jameis. He's been shown to be a character, you know, as far as the things that he said and that he's done in the NFL. How is Jameis? Is he exactly what we see on TV, or how is Jameis as a teammate?
Man, James cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, James is goofy. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, cool dude. If you got to, you know, talk to him and everything, bro, like chop it up with you, even give you some good advice. You know what I'm saying? no bull crap. Like James always been the type to where I can call to for advice. So it's just when the antics he doing. James always been goofy like that.
Yeah. Are
Yeah,
y'all still close? Y'all still keep in touch to this day?
man. Every time we see each other, man, it's always love for real. Seriously, always love. Yeah, that's my dog, man. Because I graduated out of high school early, so like James was redshirted his freshman year. So like he was like still kind of doing like he had to still do some type of freshman stuff, and I was early enrollee. So him, Ronald Darby, PJ Williams, a lot of different guys. I was around them early, because my class wasn't there yet. So I was just hanging out with sophomores really already. Me, Fred Stevens, and a few other guys. So I mean, I got close with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Got to know the city a lot better. You know what I'm saying? They showed me around. I mean, showed me a lot of. Yeah, I mean, good dude, bro. Nothing can't. I done got a many arguments in the locker room, about Jameis. You know what I'm saying? They're still gonna argue about him. Argue. You know what I'm saying? To defend him because that's my dog. He's just goofy.
For
That's
sure.
all he is. All it is.
That we see.
Yeah.
That we see.
Yeah.
You know. So you, man, you were a top 40 recruit coming out. Obviously a big time guy. You go to Florida State, you win a national championship. Like you said, you almost didn't lose for 2 years until you lost in that playoff game against Oregon. And then you had two successful seasons after that, and finish off beating Michigan. Now for you, the expectation is obviously it seems like you're going to the NFL. So you're pick 51 with the Denver Broncos. Tell me about when the Denver Broncos called your name or called the phone and let you know, hey, we're taking you. What was going through your mind?
I mean, it was a dream come true. I never forget sitting in the backyard of my godmom's house, and I think my phone was to the left or the right of me. I think it was to the left. You know what I'm saying? And then, I was wondering, I wonder how that phone call gonna be. And then next thing you know, a 303 number called me, and I hear Marcus, how's it going? John Elway. You know what I'm saying? And then, the rest was history. You're a Bronco now. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. And, my family trying to, record me while I'm talking. I'm walking away from them, but they still following me, like, flashlight on and everything.
Right.
And, man, so it was a dream come true. And then, I'll never forget just my phone blowing up so much after that. Like, people trying to call me while I'm on the phone with the Broncos. Just like, are y'all serious? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was dope. It was dope.
Now, have you, like, you're a Florida boy. You from Jacksonville, went to Florida State. Had you been in snow before? Like, had you been in any cold weather climate until that point?
Nah, man. My first time seeing snow is that day after I got drafted, I had to come in for a visit. My first time seeing snow. So serious. Like,
Really?
yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
How cold was it then? How cold was it?
It was cold, man. It was cold, but I mean, I had that rush of just being drafted. I ain't really give a damn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But after I got drafted, when I got there, really let it sink. It just sunk in already. Man, it was hard. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I got used to it. Like I said, nothing. I don't think Denver's bad because I hadn't been here in February. And I've never been here in the winter in February, so this is my first February winter I ever went through in Denver. And I can
Oh,
say,
okay.
and I can sit here and say, nah, Chicago worse. You know what I'm saying?
No, Chicago's way worse. Chicago's
Yeah.
way worse. I mean, because see, Denver, it'll snow and then it'll be gone in a day or so, but you don't get those below 0 days in that wind chill like you do in Chicago here in Denver. So if you're going to have some seasons, I always say if you want some seasons, Denver is probably the best place to be if you want it. But you coming from Florida, see, I've been in the worst. Me coming from Chicago, Denver's not bad. But you coming from Florida, you didn't know any better. So coming to this, it had to be just I shouldn't say a rude awakening, but definitely just a change of culture and everything.
Absolutely, bro. Like absolutely, it was an eye opener for shit. For shit. Hey man, I got homesick when I first got here. You know what I'm saying? But I wound up stiffening out, and Denver became a city that I love, man. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely had a piece of my heart. And Denver made me a man. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to be late, and not want to get up. No, people get up early here in Denver, and people are very on time. So that made me more accountable for my actions. It made me, my mom got to get down and lay down. So so I had nothing choice. You know what I'm saying? I had to get down and get along and find my groove of what to have success.
you mentioned that you were homesick. Did that contribute a little bit into probably, I would say this, the struggles a little bit as being a pro when you first got out of college here in Denver?
Yeah, I could say a lot of the immaturity, trying, of not being able to let go of the past. I had a lot of different things to kind of do with my slow start. And I had to go through it. And I know there's different ways of, I could have went about it, but God had me go through things for a reason, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the man I am now.
Right. Is there any specific things you would say, hey, man, if I would have done this when I was a rookie or my second or third year guy there, you know, things would have changed?
Honestly, I feel like if I'd have just stuck to the basics, you know what I'm saying? I just, when you have so much success, because I mean, the things that I did at Florida State haven't been done in a long time, and it's still all up in the record books. And that's number one. And you know, I just had to realize that to where it's another level of competition, and I had to get on my grind and figure out how to have success there. And it just took me a little bit longer to kind of fully like open my eyes. But then at the same time, spiritually wise, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a firm believer in God that, I would have knew his grace, if he would have just gave it all to me then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, having to go the long way home, you see all the different, atmospheres, you see the different, cultures, you see the different, sceneries, you see the different experiences. So that to where when you go home, you can calculate how to, make the perfect foundation. And honestly, I believe that's my situation, So, you know, I had to get stronger, had to get quicker, had to get, faster. And then I had to, evolve and get more detailed with the, my actual, position work, and then learn how to, do it, consistently while becoming a better man, and what it takes to, be healthy in the body. It's a whole 9 years process. And, I had to learn a lot of stuff on my own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, I have a good surrounding.
Right. Right. So you were coming off Florida State. I mean, you had 16 sacks your senior year at Florida State. Did I get
Really,
that?
really
I don't
18.
want to short you any. I don't want to
No,
short you any.
it's calculated 16, but it's really 18.
16. Okay. Okay. I didn't want to short you any. Okay. So coming off a 16 sack season, I mean, that's pure domination in college football, coming from Florida State. So who was that guy that put you in your place on that O line that he was like, listen, son, you're not in Kansas anymore. This is the NFL. Who was that guy that you went back to locker and said, I got to get back in this weight room. This is different.
Mm. I think, I've always been strong, but like, so when I had to realize how to get my crap together was, man, I think Billy Turner. I don't know. He was with the Jets last year with the Green Packers. I mean, yeah, he was with the Packers the most of his career, and they got me on the blind. I mean, on the blind side black, but basically just me, just bullshit in practice. Ducking my head, and the tight end bluffed me, and then they look up and Billy right there, and then you know it was a moment to wake up to the NFL. So. Oh no! I'll pay to get that clip. That was crazy. I never get that one.
Now you play with Vaughn in Denver. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about Vaughn. How good? I mean, he's a surefire Hall of Famer, but from firsthand experience, what is Von Miller?
Freak of nature. Freak of nature. I mean, someone, 5'11" or 6 foot, maybe 6'1". I don't want to short Vaughn. You know what I'm saying?
Vaughn's taller than that. Vaughn is probably,
I give him 6'1".
At least 6'2". At least 6'2". At least he might be 6'3", but at least 6'2".
I know. I give him 6'1", in my opinion. A 240 and faster than some of the running backs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Running on the edge. I never seen anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And running 4.4. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's just someone that I'm definitely blessed to see how, no, not how or what it took to get, to that, a lot of it he's blessed with just God giving speed, man. I mean, that dude there, I mean, I wish, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But and then, I mean, I learned a lot from him. See, I'm the type of person, I'm very observant, and that's
Mhm.
honestly why I love to play defense, you know what I'm saying? And, I catch on tendencies. And, I mean, you got a defensive franchise player. He's the face of the franchise. Why not learn from this guy? And, I mean, sometimes, if you let him tell it, I was a little neck. I was annoying, you know what I'm saying? But to where, I was going to gain all the knowledge I can from him.
What is the one thing you said that he taught you about being a pro and a player that you still take from this day?
Mm. It, Vaughn taught me many things and told me many things. And I think I feel like would it be good for this podcast to hear. So when Vaughn had a season ending injury during camp that year, he had his ankle situation that happened.
Mm-hmm.
As the season went along, it was December, and Vaughn was able to back walk and kind of jog. I saw him out at practice working on, a pass rush machine, by himself without no one out there, and I'm sure he was done with his rehab. And that kind of, that really hit me as to where, like, honestly, this was just like one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever, to lay smoke. This man has a season-ending injury. A lot of guys, if not all guys, you know what I'm saying? When they're done with their rehab, they go home. They're done. They got their check. They're going
Right,
for the rest of the year. But,
right.
nah, man. I mean, he wanted to go to work on his craft. I mean, if I don't like that, you know what I'm saying? He's a workaholic, and, definitely a lot of my, pretty much 95% of my offseason resume is the ideal blueprint, if not the same blueprint as his. A lot of people don't know
Right,
that. I mean, the people close to me know that, but yeah,
right. I mean, listen, man, if you're gonna learn from somebody and take a blueprint from somebody, you might as well take it from a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer.
absolutely,
And man,
unquestionably.
your career, man, has been like it's not the usual. Typically if you are a high pick and you're a second round guy and you struggle a little bit, sometimes it's harder to get back, back into the mix when you switch teams. And for you, you had some injuries, then you go to Houston, then you land in Tennessee, and then you have a great year in Tennessee, and then you're a free agent and you land in Chicago. So why Chicago? Like, why was that the place for you after Tennessee?
By Chicago. Honestly, I mean, I prayed for these things. I prayed for an attack style defense, because after Tennessee, I knew that's where I wanted to be an attack style defense. I wanted to play on grass. I pray for a lot of different things. I pray to be a Super Bowl MVP. I pray, not to be, a lot of different, to have a lot of different accolades. And you know, um, you know, in the NFL, you got certain cities that have a bigger market, and I pray, to be in a great market, to where I can showcase my skills. Teams that love defense, and I had my, ideas, and but from the jump, after I was done, with that season and combine stuff was going on, my agent said, "Yo, Chicago is big on you." You know what I'm saying? Like big, and
Right,
it was good news to hear that. To where I had a lot of interest in, to where Chicago was able to bend, was almost then able to wanted to bend the rules, you know, to get me, and the money was exceptional, so that was big. You know, it factored in a lot of different things. Wasn't expecting the cold, but I mean, why not give a champion? Why not bring a championship to a city like that? I mean, why not? It
right,
doesn't get no.
right,
It doesn't get no better and bigger than that. I don't care what the Giants or the Rams will say. You know what I'm saying?
right. People who haven't been there don't understand it. And the guys that have played for that organization, they realize what it means to be a Chicago Bear and what it means to the NFL and how long that franchise has been around. I mean, it's been around for forever,
They started.
So in that city is a Bear city. You can say what you want to about all the other teams that are in Chicago, but that city is a Bear city first. First and foremost. So I think that everybody that's been a part of it, they get it, and now you understand it, man. And we glad to have you down there. Now you get to Chicago, and first year coaching Flus, first year GM. So it's gonna be actually their second year for you, but their first time at their position. But the defense is not good. So it's a carryover from the previous year, and you're giving up 25 plus points per game. It's the worst defense in the league. And then all of a sudden, things change. All right. You trade for Montez Sweat. You get the win in Washington. You're starting to feel a little bit better about yourself. Quarterback does get hurt. But when Montez Sweat comes in, the defense automatically starts playing better. And now you finish off in the last 9 games giving up 17 points a game. And you're leading the league in turnovers. What happened? What changed? Is it as simple as Montez Sweat? Is it Flus jumping over to call the plays? What happened with the defense that it was a total 180 that you become now, the second half of the season, one of the best defenses in the league?
A lot of things happened. Taz definitely helped. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of pressure. Flus, in my opinion, I felt like he finally found the identity of the team. We had some hard talks as a defense and as a team, and to where we finally everyone just really just put their pride to the side and learned one another, and we fluctuated within the defense. When you brought Taz in there, I mean that took a lot of pressure off me, like a lot of you, man. And um, you know, when you start wrecking the game, they get the double teams off you. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And he definitely wrecked, man. That man wrecked. I'm a beast. And I feel like you got to think too. That front seven was all new. There's a whole new front seven, and the front seven is the most important part of the defense. You're not ever like saying the DBs and the safeties. Not if you can't stop the run, you're not going to win a football game. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, corners to have a good stop. Flus always say to have a good run and stop defense, corners got to learn how. Okay, let me get you right, Flus. To have a good run and stop defense, corners got to tackle. That's his saying. You know what I'm saying? So, that's everybody doing their job up front. You know what I'm saying? If these holes plugged up to where they got to bounce it, and that's when this corner got to show up and tackle. You know what I'm saying? And I think we just molded together, man. And we just start playing. We start having fun. The chemistry of the defense, I mean, you could just tell we were a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We hold each other accountable. The rookies was, learned from the vets, and the vets was so, attached to the rookies to teaching them to where, I mean, we always done something. We always had wings or fried chicken or something. We did something every week. The D-line did dinner every week. You know what I'm saying? So like chemistry started coming together and everything.
So it seemed like you started to develop as one of the team leaders over that time. Did that kind of happen organically, or did Flus come to you and say, hey, in order to be successful, we need you to be not only great on the field, but off the field and be one of the team leaders that we have?
Good question, Marcus. No, Marcus, when I came there, honestly, I feel like that was another selling point with me in free agency was, how much of a vocal leader I was, and Pope needed that. And when I got there, I mean, every team I've been on, I've always been quiet and I hold myself and learn the team. But with this situation, it was a little bit different. And the Spirit told me, God told me, no, you be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, and for a little bit, I thought I was being too much of myself. But no, I mean, I had to just continue being myself and, when the team hit adversity, I didn't change. Now, I might have quieted up a little bit, worked a little bit more, but to where being, that presence and, if I wasn't there vocally, I mean, I was putting the work in, if not making a play to make sure that to where now we're in this together. And, that's just the brotherhood that we had, like, you know what I'm saying? And Flu saw that to where, when every man looks good, when everything's doing good, but when adversity, happens, you see the true character in people, and I didn't change. And once I got back healthy and started getting my feet underneath me, my play was just as much, reciprocating my leadership, and Flu's, definitely respected that, so, you know, I'll never forget after the game, I said, hey, because I said this relationship wasn't given. We earned this one. This, our respect, towards one another. So, shout out to Flus.
Definitely. How good can this defense be? I mean, where is the ceiling for this defense? How good can it be? You're great against the run. Obviously you're in a back half against bottom third against the pass, but how far can this defense go, and what do you need to get it there?
It's all about attitude. I believe that they're going to bring in the right person, and to take in for where Bojack left off at, and I honestly believe that Lord willing, we all stay healthy. Why not shoot for the best ever? You know what I'm saying? We always hear about, the 18 Bears defense and then 85 Bears. I mean, let's surpass that.
Right.
But, it's all about attitude, and we all create our own identity. You know what I'm saying? Everyone get to know one another, and everyone accept one another. And then ultimately everyone, playing for one another.
Right. So, are we saying this defense could be 18 level, 85 level, top 5 in the league? Where do you think the defense will be, or the potential of the defense will be upcoming year?
We trying to win, Marcus. That's all it is, bro.
I hear you.
We trying to win, man. You know what I'm saying? We tired of hearing all these predictions and all this stuff, man. We trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, my challenge to guys, because a lot of guys, I know they're going to, it's good to kind of have that confidence feeding off last year going to this year, but let's also work our ass off and make sure that to where there's going to be a new team. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a few different pieces. Right. So, we got to figure out, how to be, the best in that.
Speaking of a new team, we got to address the elephant in the room, brother.
Oh, man.
We have to address the elephant in the room, the one that is trampling all over the NFL right now. So, obviously, you guys have the number 1 pick. You have a quarterback that I believe is more than capable of taking you guys to a Super Bowl and is extremely talented. It seems like the team has a great relationship with Justin Fields and believes in him. Tell me about Justin Fields. How do you guys feel about Justin Fields, and who is he, and what does he mean to you guys as the player and as a person?
Humble kid from Cobb County who's an electrifying elite quarterback in this NFL. And, if I had it my way, he's my quarterback, but, I don't, I know the front office want to make, the best decision that they feel like it is for the team. And, we just got to roll with it, you know what I'm saying? So, that's been a lot of speculation. I talked to Justin Saturday, and it was nothing football related, good. He was down in Florida. Just, chill out and relaxing, and just been having my kid. I mean, not my kid. Been, having that kid in my prayers because, I just wish some people really put themselves in his shoes and just like, come on, bro, really? So we'll see.
Yeah. He's, to say the least, he's had not the best situation to succeed in Chicago over his last 3 years, but to me, he's passed a lot of it with flying colors. I will say this. There's a big discrepancy with him between current players and former players and media members on what they think about Justin Fields. I myself think he is a rare talent, an elite skill level, and a rare skill set. And again, that can take this team places. And it seems to be that a lot of the team feels the same way about that. But why do you feel like there's a discrepancy between players? Because you hear a lot of players say you should roll with Justin Fields, keep Justin Fields, but a lot of media guys are ready to move on and don't see what you see or what your teammates see. What do you think the discrepancy is there?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I mean, you got the number one overall pick, so you have to exercise all options. Being a businessman, you never make a sudden decision like that. I mean, and that's what we all learn, from our OGs, early within business. You exercise all options and you see the possibilities within it. So, I mean, you have to do that. I just feel like, it's a little bit more gaslighted than normal. And I mean, that's what it just comes with being in the city of Chicago, in my opinion. If this was in a smaller, like y'all, there's like Nashville is not talking about another like a quarterback,
Right.
situation. And no, I love the Titans, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that's what happens when you're in a bigger city like this, you know what I'm saying? They're going to get more attention, and those media people are, I mean, they're wolves, man. You know what I'm saying? They're freaking, they're they're hunting for something. And honestly, that's what I learned about Chicago. I mean, I had to learn to stand up and speak up, man,
Right.
because Chicago people speak up. So you better learn how to talk up too. So that's what I learned about Chicago. Speak up. You better. I mean, you cannot. If not, they'll take it and run with it how they want to. You know what I'm talking about,
Right.
Marcus. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I already,
You know
I
what
already
I'm
know. I already know. You spitting facts right now.
you know what I'm saying?
You spitting facts right now. Let's say this. Okay, I got a couple more questions on this. We'll move on. If Let me ask you this: what's the ceiling on Justin? Is he top 5? Is he top 10? Is he top 15? In your opinion, what is the ceiling on this kid?
Better than Lamar.
Better than Lamar?
Better than Lamar, in my opinion. Like, and Lamar, in my opinion, is top 2 best in the league. I feel like it's Pat, then it's Lamar, in my opinion. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? But, yeah.
so you got him top 2. Top 2. His ceiling's top 2.
Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
I would say this. I think he throws the ball better than Lamar, and I think that there is
You see this?
a I,
It's the same.
I think that there's a possibility that he could be better. People are going to call this blasphemy because he has 2 MVPs. So you and I saying this, people are going to jump all over us saying this. So Lamar has 2 MVPs, but when I look at the skill set, I would just say this: I will agree with you, no matter wherever number you put him at. I would agree with you that his ceiling is very high. Before they jump over both of us right now and jump on both of us, because Lamar has 2 MVPs and Justin doesn't. But we'll get into those nuances later. So,
Has Justin has the same development as Lamar?
of course not. Of course not.
Lamar put the practice side, put a system within Lamar that he is comfortable in for him to fluctuate in.
Baltimore's been all in on Lamar from day one. They've been all in on Lamar. And I can't say that for the Chicago Bears. They have not been. And you just got rid of your offensive coordinator, which is telling me something. Okay, listen. More power to Luke Getsy, but it's saying something, right? It's saying something. So I think that we both can acknowledge that the situations are different and how they've treated both players are not the same, which is why we're getting a different result, from both of them at this time. So if I'm Ryan Poles and I come to you, I say, DeMarcus, come into my office, man.
Man, Poles ain't doing that, man.
But let's say he does. Let's say he does. Come into my office. And he tells you, listen, man, I'm debating, man. I'm 50-50 on this decision here. Tell me why I should stick with Justin Fields. What do you tell him?
No, man. I mean, I got an obvious answer. It's just my answer. Just why redo the locker room? You know what I'm saying? Like that's a key piece. For the dynamic. And I'm not. I don't know anything about this Caleb kid. You know what I'm saying? But just from what we had and how we finished. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, we just a few pieces away from offense and the scheme away from just taking this shit over. You know what I'm saying? And the defense had to start better. We have to start better on defense. We finished like we got to start better. But you just have to take a look at the whole scenario. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
then like I said, we have the number one overall pick. You got to exercise this option. The media saying that this kid, is better than Trevor Lawrence. But I think Travis Etienne is the best player on the Jaguars team. So
You know what? You and I think alike, my man. You and I think alike on that.
yeah. So this is just a player playing within the scheme and playing against the Jaguars twice when they had Etienne. Hold on, did I play them last year? No, I didn't. No, I played them the year before. Yeah, I played them twice. Yes, I did. With the Titans
You were in
twice.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I played them twice, and I'm like, nah, Etienne's good. So
I would say that the wind is blowing that way right now. It seems like if you listen to the media coverage, the wind is blowing the way of you guys trading Justin and drafting Caleb again because you have the number one pick. And you mentioned the locker room and what a key piece he is to the locker room. And we all know it's NFL, the NFL business. We understand how this works. You just let go of Eddie Jackson. We understand, so we get that. But this is your quarterback, so it's a little bit different. How do you think the locker room would handle you guys trading Justin? How do you think they would react to that?
I don't know, man. I just can't really circle my mind away from it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to put my mind around it. But like I said, it's a business, so you got to just kind of roll with it. They traded Robert Coyne, who was a captain, and they traded Rocor. You know what I'm saying?
Roquan Smith, yeah.
All of the defense, that year, and there was a captain as well. So I wasn't there when it happened, but the organization had felt that before. You know what I'm saying? So but a quarterback that's a whole different piece. That's not a DN or a linebacker, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder how DJ feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
He's been pretty vocal about keeping Justin. So that would be interesting to kind of figure out. You would know better than him. Tell him to jump on the Still Broke podcast. I'll ask him, for us. He got some time.
Absolutely.
But either way, whether you stay with Justin or you go with Caleb Williams, what's the expectation, or does it change next year? Does it change if you have Justin or if you have Caleb, or is there a set expectation of where this team needs to be no matter who's at quarterback next year?
We trying to win this year. You know what I'm saying? So that's the expectation. So, that's all.
Playoff win, 9-8 win. What super what does win mean?
The whole thing. Try to win the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Holding that Vince Lombardi up. You know what I'm saying? And yelling at the Chicago that we done did it.
Right. Now your division has gotten really good overnight, and the division is really young. You guys are young. Detroit's very young. Green Bay's really young, and it seems like I don't want to say you have Detroit's number, but you should have beat them twice. You beat them once, and you had them beat another time. So it seems like you've kind of figured out, if I can even say that in the NFL, the Detroit puzzle, if I can say that, because it's the NFL, you never know what's going to happen. But we still have not figured out the Green Bay puzzle. Okay, what do the Bears have to do? What is going on? Whereas you just cannot beat this team in Wisconsin, and what has to happen to close the gap? Because again, this division is getting really good, and it's getting really good fast.
Honestly, I'm still having to figure out the chemistry it has with Green Bay. Week one, I wasn't 100% healthy, so I could, sort of, I was in there fighting, but it was with everything all I had. The second game, I'm not gonna lie to you, Mark. Second year, I figured out nah, this motherfucker is really is a rivalry. It's disrespectful. So
Right.
the best man got to win. I feel like the most team that plays the best football, but with aggression and with, the best, intelligence will always win the game. And, Green Bay's the second game was, first game, they just whooped ass. But the second game, I feel like, they were just a step ahead of us, you know what I'm saying? And, they were, they, they know we coming, you know what I'm saying? They had a chance to up the score on us, but they wanted to get off the field because they didn't want a chance, of playing us, of playing any extra football. So, it's just we gotta, we gotta get our shit together, honestly.
Do you feel like Green Bay, even though the Detroit Lions made it to the NFC Championship, do you feel like at this point in time Green Bay is the best team in the division, or do you think it's Detroit, or who's a team that you have to jump ahead of and say, no, we're here and we can take down that team and be the best team in the North?
Man, Mars, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. That shit matter. That shit last shit don't matter, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new team, whole new year.
Right, right, right. So we starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. We can't take too many more L's from Green Bay, man. They too disrespectful up here, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, man. I'm tired, and I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are as well. I'm not gonna keep you too much longer, my man. Switching gears, I saw you tweeted about the Cam situation in Cam's camp. Do you do any camps? Do you do any camps? You run any camps?
It's been a while since I did one, but
Okay.
I do plan on doing one recently. I mean soon.
How you feel about players running camps and kind of what happened in the Cam situation and how that could have been handled differently?
I don't know too many details about that situation, Marcus. So, I never heard Cam perspective. I heard little, gets and gabbers about the from the other people. I'm sorry, but like I said, bro, like in my tweet, Cam chooses to be out there, and I mean, that man put his, not only his money, but the most valuable thing in the world, in my opinion, is time. He put his time out
Mm-hmm.
there, away from his kids, away from his family, to pour into these other kids. And that's God's doing, man. And I feel like at a point in time in America, people, black public figures was, held kind of more, it was more respect and it was shielded and guarded, but to where now people want to make a name off it now.
Right. Do you think a lot of that has to do with social media at this point in time?
Oh yeah, man, it's the system, man. Absolutely, dude. It's a more comparing game and making someone feel more insecure and that, oh, this person has more. You know what I'm saying? It's all, in my opinion, I feel like it's all on purpose. It's the system.
Well, why is it us? We're like, why is it us? And I heard Shannon mention this. He said, you don't see this at the Peyton Manning camp. Like, why is it our community that doesn't have the respect for a guy like Cam Newton, who has probably, listen, in order for these kids to be on Cam Newton's level as an athlete, they got to win a national title at a junior college. They got to win a national title in college. They got to win a Heisman Trophy. They got to be Rookie of the Year. They got to be NFL MVP. And they got to go to a Super Bowl. The odds of that happening are probably slim to none. So why is a community that we have a guy that's giving, like you said, the most important thing is his time with these credentials, and yet we go out of our way to disrespect that man based on what he's done? Why is that?
You just said the word. It's at the end of the day, man, it's about respect. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a race and as a culture, at the end of the day, we gotta learn to respect one another. If you respect me and I respect you, that's all it is. I feel like other races have more respect amongst one another's.
Right. Well, we going couple more questions, get you out of here on a good note. So best atmosphere you ever played in, college or NFL? What's the best one?
Either one can be. I used to say always college, but from the Bears perspective, I didn't have some games get rowdy where like, nah, this feel like college. So, either or, bro. Either or. Like,
which stadium in the NFL? Which team did you play against that felt most like college?
Arrowhead, and New Orleans.
In New Orleans?
Yeah. You had drunk people around you. You know what I'm saying? So New Orleans. Yeah. I want to go back there so bad.
Which college football team or program that you hate worse, Miami or Florida?
Florida. 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 I can't stand them.
Why is it Florida over Miami?
I feel like they were the most disrespectful team to me in recruiting. They were the last team to offer me, and everybody in the country to offer me. They're my last, and they're the closest Division One school to me. And then you know, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, I had some racist encounters. You have racist encounters. Sadly, as a black man, you're gonna have at least one racist encounter, but I have too many with Florida fans, in my opinion. So I kind of just hold that that grudge against them.
Best NFL city that you played in, based on the teams you played in. So between Denver, Houston, Tennessee, and Chicago, favorite city?
It's a tie between Chicago and Houston. Like it's a
In
tie.
Houston?
Yeah, it's a tie.
It's a tie.
Man, I love Chicago and I love Houston. The only thing is just the cold in Chicago and just the shopping. I love the shopping downtown, but it's just like you got to drive to like the different stores. You can
Right.
walk, but it's probably like you carrying bags while you walking. To where in Houston you got a Galleria where everything is right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like honestly,
Right.
Marcus, that's the only thing, bro. That's the only thing. The food, the culture, the vibe, everything goes. From what I learned, the business, everything. I mean, everything's like it's tied even.
Okay. So the food, man. You mentioned the food. Are you a deep dish pizza guy yet? Yes or no?
Not yet.
Not yet. Have you tried it?
I have
From where?
Illuminati's.
Illuminati's. All right. Check out Giordano. Now, there's a Giordano's down here in Denver, but it doesn't taste the same. So I'm not going to recommend that one here. If you go back to Chicago,
All right.
I'm a Giordano's guy. Not everybody's Gio guy, but I am as far as the deep dish is concerned.
All right.
So I would recommend that. How about have you been to Portillo's?
Not yet. It's around the corner from my house too. I haven't been there yet.
Bro, you have not been to Portillo's yet?
But I have had the chopped beef sandwich though.
You had a beef? How'd you get it?
With peppers.
Right. You got to get, listen, I'm going to tell you how to order this joint, okay? I'm going to tell you how to order this joint. You get the peppers, you get the extra mozzarella on the joint, and you got to get it dipped.
Okay.
All right? You get the fries, you get the side of cheese with the fries. And listen, I don't even eat beef like that unless I go home to Portillo. So if you get that, that's how you got to order it. Okay. That's how you got to have it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely.
You warm this up for me?
Definitely, man. You definitely got to check that out, man. Have you had? Now I don't know if anybody. See, somebody got to be from Chicago to get it. Have you had Harold's Chicken?
Yeah, I've had Harold's. I'm a fried chicken guy. I'm from the South, so
okay.
Harold's good. Harold's good. I feel like there's some spots in the South that's way better, but Harold's good though.
Yeah. So when they told you about mild sauce, what did you think it was?
Man, obviously you thought it was ketchup, but when I was having them, this is just a different sauce. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was ketchup for a little bit, but it wasn't.
Nah. And it's not. It doesn't taste like. People think mild sauce. They think of regular mild sauce, but that's not how they do it over there at Harold's. You know what I'm saying? So. Last question, man, before we get you out of here, because you are in Chicago, man, and this is going to either get you a contract extension or not. So, who is your NBA GOAT, my guy?
My NBA GOAT. I mean, I'm a huge Kevin Durant fan, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had to, say, let me, big GOAT-ups, but obviously the no-brainer is MJ. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I feel like if KD had MJ mentality, I mean, he'd be way bigger than LeBron because he was always the second best player in the league. He was on the knee, always behind LeBron's shoulder. But me being a huge fan of him, being honest, it's like, bro, go take that shit, bro. Go take it. You know what I'm saying? When he was in Brooklyn, when he stepped on the foot, I mean, had his foot on the line, he could have, that was he was one toe away from winning the championship. But, I feel like once KD do that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I'll really walk away saying that really is my GOAT. There really is. But if I got to give it to somebody, I got to give it to MJ.
For sure. KD is probably the greatest offensive player we've ever seen in the NBA.
Yeah.
But, as far as between the two guys, you got the right answer. Can you please tell your boy Justin Fields he cannot come on any TV and say that LeBron is better than MJ when you're in Chicago? You just can't do it. You can't do it. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
Dude,
You
I
can't
got it.
do it. So your answer is correct, sir. Now you deserve a contract extension for the Chicago Bears. We good to go.
Appreciate
All
you.
right, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. I always appreciate your time. I appreciate our relationship. Oh, no, I do want to say this before you get out of here. You used to be a sneaker guy when I first met you.
Yeah.
Are you still a sneaker guy? Okay. All right. So here's a sneaker question for you. Here's a sneaker question for you. What is your favorite shoe in your collection now? And then what is your favorite shoe that is not in your collection that you don't have?
Marcus. Oh man. Right now, my favorite shoe is my Black Cat Forest. I wear those because my favorite Jordan is the Jordan 6, but my favorite shoe, the reason why, because, they just go with everything. They're comfortable, they're stylish, and I got 3 pair of them. So that shows you,
Right.
that's my favorite ones. And my favorite shoe that I don't have. Favorite pair of shoes that I don't have. Uh, Yeezy Octobers.
The Red Octobers?
Yeah, the Red Octobers. Yeah, I want those.
Okay. Now, would you pay the premium for those?
No, my girl said, once she get her money, she gonna buy them for me one day. But I feel like next contract I might buy them.
I hear you. It's hard for me to. Yeah, listen, man. No matter how much money you have, sometimes it's just hard to pay that type of money for some sneakers.
You lying, bro? Like that's why they ain't about
You
you.
know,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Seriously,
Right.
seriously, yeah, man. But I appreciate you, Marcus. Man, I really appreciate this opportunity.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on, man. As always, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, brother. I thank you again, man. And again, this is DeMarcus Walker, current defensive lineman for the Chicago Bears. We appreciate you. Still Broke Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thank you again, D Walk. We appreciate you, brother.
See you, brother.